This is the 2025 Kia K4. It is larger than the Forte, which it replaces, has more back room space, and best of all, when you hear the price, you will be very impressed. We'll talk about that in the end. Let's talk about what you're getting for your money and where the value is. The K4 has that Kia Star Map LED signature lighting both front and rear, and it has a lot of sports car look to it. You'll notice that this sporty fastback roofline draws inspiration from the Kia Stinger sports car sedan. It has wider rear fenders and gives it a really nice sporty stance. It also illuminates the road with LED cube projector headlights. The K4 has an ultra-wide sunroof, and our test vehicle is a GT Line Turbo, and it rides on 18-inch black alloy wheels. Curb weight is 3,285 pounds and comes with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty, but there is no complimentary maintenance that's included. The backside of this vehicle is very sporty, and that sports car look with, again, that Constellation design all LED taillights. Coming into the trunk, you have 16 cubic feet of storage. It is low, it is large, and there is a spare tire underneath, which is a major plus. Our test vehicle rides on 18-inch alloy wheels. The entry level is 16, the mid-level grades are 17, and this is the 18. I do like the black alloy, and the styled alloy wheel is really nice. Taking a look at the inside of the K4, your first thing you're going to note is that 3-spoke sport steering wheel with paddle shifters, which most people probably won't use. But what is important is the seats itself. Two-toned interiors with really nice bolstering, heated and ventilated seats, and those buttons are on the door for turning them on and off. Adaptable center console, so you can put in cup holders, or if you want to put a sandwich there, or your keys or wallet, whatever that might be. But the interior is much roomy, particularly the rear seat area compared to its competitors. It is the largest in the category. One thing you're going to note right out of the box is when you get in the vehicle, the top and bottom of the steering wheel are flat, which makes it more sportier, and I do like that two-tone coloring. Entering the second row, you can see that there is a lot more space than there is in the Forte, its predecessor, 2 USB-C charge ports, and if you pull down that center console, there are built-in cup holders. One thing you're going to note is this very wide sunroof, brings a lot of light in from the outside. Under the hood, there are 2 engine choices. The base engine is a 147 horsepower 4-cylinder engine with a 2-liter engine that has front-wheel drive only and a CVT transmission. It gets 30 miles to the gallon in the city and 40 on the highway. Our test vehicle rides on 190 horsepower turbocharged 1.6-liter 4-cylinder engine that is an upgrade. It is more powerful engine with the GT Line Turbo, and it comes with a conventional 8-speed automatic transmission. The GT Line and the GT Line Turbo also come with more sophisticated multi-link rear suspension, where all the others come with a torsion beam. 0 to 60 times 7.3 seconds. It earns 26 miles a gallon in the city and 36 on the highway. First thing you notice when you get inside the Kia K4 is the 2 screens that are huge improvement over what the Forte was offering. You've got Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, as well as a full computerized screen in front of you that is adjustable. In front of you is this really neat steering wheel with a flat top and a flat bottom, 2-tone interior, really nice, very linear, very modern, as well as ambient lighting. You've got all of your screens here. Really nice, easy to use, super simple. Media volume is here, an actual volume button, actual climate controls. Below that, you've got wireless charging, USB-C. You've got your start stop button. Further back, you've got your shifter. And then you've got the auto hold button if you want to use that. You have the cameras if you want the cameras. Look at that. That is a crystal clear around view camera. Good, especially at a traffic light. You don't know what's going on. It'll allow you to see, am I up to the line? What's going on? All of that is great. Of course, you can also get the whole vehicle as it sits in traffic. Isn't that cool? It's not the color of the car, which is hazy mist, but it is pretty cool. And then further back, 2 cup holders that are adjustable like all the rest of the Kias. They slide back and you have an open area, or you can have cup holders. And then a center console that's soft. In the doors, you have your heated and ventilated seat settings, as well as your memory seat settings, which are 2 on our top of the line GT Line Turbo. Obviously, the lower trim levels aren't going to have that. Storage in the doors, good size glove box. This is pretty nice. I mean, I'm pretty impressed with the overall handling of this car. Obviously, the GT Line Turbo is going to be the top of the line. We'll also be driving the other vehicles, but one of the things that's really important when you're driving this car, excellent visibility, lots of glass, big raking areas going on around you, low sills so you can see what's going on there as well. And it's one of the things that consumers think, do I want this car? Well, with this wide sunroof and the comfortable seating and everything that they're putting together, it's certainly better than what the Forte was offering. And having a car available or a sedan available is certainly a smart idea. People are are kind of sick of SUVs and they don't always want that, or they don't always want trucks. This gives you options. Also, by the way, on the steering wheel, you have all your modes, and there are drive modes as well. But everything here is easy to use and extremely intuitive, and that's what makes this car really easy to drive. Let's take it out on the roads. So now we're in the back roads here in Austin, Texas. It's actually pretty cold here. It's like 50-some degrees, which is unusual for Texas. But driving this vehicle, the first thing you're gonna notice is it's really quiet. You've got acoustical glass, you've got acoustical tires, which essentially means they're low rolling resistance, so they're not loud, but they've got dampeners throughout the vehicle as well. And they've also put additional padding in the carpeting, which you don't find this typically in an entry-level price car. Again, I keep coming back to the value of this car and what you're getting for your money. And people say, well, who the heck's buying cars? Well, about 18% of the vehicles being sold today are cars, and right now there are only 8 vehicles that are under $22,000 starting price. This is one of them. So we're in normal mode, and to change the drive modes on the K4 is right below the center airbag. You press the button, you're now into sport mode. Are you gonna drive it in sport mode? Well, we're on a very loud road right now. I don't think most people are gonna drive it on sport mode. There are paddle shifters, which are really nice, smooth transitions for upshift as well as downshift if you wish to drive it that way. I don't know, I've got paddle shifters on some of my cars. I've never used them. Some people like to use them. Maybe if you're autocrossing the car, again, that's probably not the bulk of your buyer. Most people are just gonna drive it like a vehicle, put it to drive. There are 11 standard safety features on the car, but you can buy up to 29, so you get that highway drive assist. One of the upgrades you can buy in safety, which I think is one of the sellers for this vehicle, is when you put on your turn signal, the gauge itself will turn into a blind spot camera. Our test vehicle does not have it. It's just a regular turn signal. But once you've experienced that, you're going to want that because you won't have that blind spot on both the passenger side and the driver's side, which I think is a winner all day long because safety and security is definitely what people want. But overall, this vehicle drives so much nicer. It is slightly larger than the Forte, but I think what it does is it gives that longer wheelbase, gives it better balance, better handling. Again, as they're changing their whole brand line to the K line versus the names like Forte and everything else they've had, this is becoming part of the transition. But overall, I'm liking the interior. I love the flat top, so you're not like looking over the steering wheel. Of course, you can adjust that. It's got tilt and telescopic. What you're getting for your money compared to the competitors, well, they should be worried. And we'll talk about those competitors in just a second. There are some pros and cons when it comes to the Kia K4. Let's start off with the positives. Love the new design. I like that you want to look back at this car. The unique design of the taillights, the headlights, and the vehicle overall is really pleasing to the eye, and that is what they were going for, a modern sedan that gives you more room, which is another plus. Very spacious in the second row, more room in the front row, and the technology that's standard is important, as well as its standard safety features. Of course, if you want to buy up to the higher safety and the bigger motor, that's more my style. But getting into a vehicle at this price point, I think, is a massive value, and that is where the major plus is coming for the K4. Low maintenance, fuel efficient engine, and long warranty are all part of the positives. On the negative side, well, I wish there was power seating available on the top trim level on the passenger seat. It is all manual, which means you just got to move it around. Is that important? Well, at this price point, no. But when you start moving your way up to the higher price point levels, like our test vehicles, which were the GT line and the GT line Turbo, it would be nice to have power seating. Overall, this vehicle has everything that you would need and such an amazing price, but there are a ton of competitors in this category. Obviously, the Honda Civic is the #1, the Mazda 3, the Toyota Corolla, as well as the Volkswagen Jetta, all direct competitors. And what's interesting is there are only 8 vehicles available today that are under $22,000, and this is one of them. The LX starts at $21,990. The LXS, the next step up, is $22,990. The EX, that middle of the road, is $23,990. And then we get into the test cars. The GT line starts at $25,190, and our test vehicle is a GT line Turbo. It's got everything you'd want, all the safety, all the technology, $28,090. That is the value, and that's what I said in the beginning. One thing the K4 is going to offer over the Forte is more space, more technology, quiet interior that is super impressive. Bottom line is, this is a great value, and the competitors should be worried. Some of them have been updated, some will be updated, but this is your new baseline for the subcompact category. I think overall, the 2025 Kia K4 is the new baseline for the category. If you're thinking about a sedan, it's got to beat this. And at this price point, that's going to be very difficult, which is good for consumers. It allows them to have options and get the things that they want at whatever trim level. Plus, there's a lot of competitors, which means you're going to have reasonably priced maintenance on these vehicles, all of them across the lineup, as well as insurance costs, which is important to check that out before you make a final decision. If you have any additional questions or comments about the Kia K4, put them down in the comments below and let's start that conversation. If you got value from this video, please like and subscribe. You can support me by buying me a cup of coffee. All my links and everything are down below in the description. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Lauren Fix.